Hello kids. So as promised, today we will be seeing the basics of chemistry. So we will start with chemistry. Why? Because everything in life starts with chemistry, right? So in chemistry, the first word that you will learn will be a matter. What is a matter? Anything that has mass and occupies space is called as a matter. Just look around you, your pen, the table, yourself, the snacks you eat, everything has a mass and it occupies space, isn't so? Okay, so anything in the universe that has mass and occupies space is called a matter. Okay, so anything and everything is a matter, and now we will see what this matter is made up of. Okay, so this matter, say I'm taking a wooden table. I break this table and then I get a small chunk of this table. I zoom it till the very end where I cannot divide this further. Okay, I will reach a point where it cannot be divided further. Okay, so this is called the atom. Okay, so the matter, any matter in the universe is made up of the basic unit of matter called as an atom. Till the late 18th centuries, we believed that the atoms cannot be further divided into any other subcomponents, and atoms are the final point for a matter. These atoms only build to make a matter. Okay, that is what was understood. But late in in 19th century, at the beginning of the 19th century, there was a scientist called J.J. Thomson. What did he do? He was doing some physics experiment. He was not doing chemistry experiments. He was doing some physics experiment, and that experiment was called Cathode Ray Experiment. When he was doing this cathode ray, this experiment using a discharge tube, this is a discharge tube which is connected to the circuit. Okay, suddenly he saw there was a beam of rays. There was some beam of rays that was going from a cathode. A cathode is a negative terminal of an electric circuit. So the cathode rays, there was a beam of ray that was going from the cathode towards the anode. Okay, so anything that is going from a negative side to a positive side should be a negative charge, isn't so? Because the negative only will be getting attracted to the positive. So since the beam of rays was coming out from the cathode, he named these rays as cathode rays. And these cathode rays were negatively charged. And later, these cathode rays were named as the electrons. So there came a new horizon for chemistry, that atom can further be divided into subatomic particles. So what are these subatomic particles? The electrons. And we know an atom is neutral. Atom does not have any charge. So if there is a negative charge, there is going to be a positive charge also. Okay, so this negatively charged particle in an atom is called as the electron, and the positively charged particle in a matter is called as a proton. So these were the first two subatomic particles that were identified. We have to understand that the atom is not the final point of a matter, but it can also be divided into its respective subatomic particles. And so far, what are all the subatomic particles we identified? The electrons, which are negatively charged, and the protons that are positively charged. So now, when you see the structure of atom, so what could you see in the structure of an atom? There is a central part of an atom, and there is something that is, going around the center. Say this whole thing is the room that you're staying now, and you keep a small tennis ball in the middle of your room. Okay, so that small tennis ball represents the nucleus of the atom. The central part is called as the nucleus. So this nucleus, this central part is made up of the protons and the neutrons. And electron is seen anywhere around this nucleus. Inside this big room, it can be seen anywhere. So the mass of an electron is negligible. Mass of an electron is negligible, and the whole mass of an atom is concentrated at the center. So the center has what? The center has the protons and the neutrons. Proton, that is positively charged, and a neutron. So when I say I have to calculate the mass of an atom, okay, the mass is concentrated only at the center. So we take into account only the number of protons and neutrons for the calculation of atomic mass. And what is an atomic number? An atomic number is the number of protons that is present in the atom. Say for example, carbon. Carbon has the atomic number of 6 and the mass number of 12. So this number 6 will represent the number of protons that are present in the carbon atom. Okay, so now when I say the number of protons, what will be the number of electrons in carbon? That will also be equal to 6, because how much ever positive charge is present in an atom, equal number of electrons will also be present in the atom. So when I say carbon has 6 protons and 6 electrons. Okay, so now what is this number that is there at the top of the carbon atom? This is called as the atomic mass or the mass number. So how is this atomic mass or the mass number calculated? The atomic mass or the mass number is equal to the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. Neutrons are the neutral particle. So the number of protons plus the number of neutrons will attribute to the atomic mass. Okay, so there are 6 electrons, 6 protons, and if my mass is 12, which means the number of protons is 6 and the number of neutrons is also 6, which adds to give me 12. So an atomic number is the number of protons or the number of electrons. What is mass number? Mass number is the sum of the protons plus the number of neutrons in an atom. So the mass of the entire atom is concentrated at the center. Okay, so this is the very important point that you will have to remember, and the mass of electron is negligible. So this is how the mass is calculated. Now let's see another example. Oxygen. Oxygen's atomic number is 8 and it has got 8 neutrons. Okay, now tell me how many number of electrons are there in this? That's correct. We have 8 electrons because the atomic number will give either the number of protons or the number of electrons. Therefore, what is the number of protons? Yes, it has got 8 protons. So now, what will be the mass of oxygen? So, or mass number or atomic mass of oxygen? that will be equal to the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. So what is the number of protons here? 8. What is the number of neutrons? 8. So the atomic mass of oxygen is 16. Now you can ask me, how do I find the atomic number of oxygen? So this atomic number can be found in the periodic table of elements. So we have furthermore details to see in this lesson, which we will see in the next video. Thank you for watching. Share and subscribe the channel if you found it useful. Thank you.